The Big 12 preview and picks edition for Tuesday, January 9th and Wednesday, January 10th on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com. Code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today. We're also brought to you by Cut. Cut is the peer-to-peer social betting platform for U.S.-based and legal in 40 states. Download Cut today in the App Store. That's KUTT, and use promo code SGPN for a 10% deposit bonus today. And welcome, everybody, to the Big 12 College Experience, part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Tuesday, January the 9th, and Wednesday, January the 10th games. It is game number 2 in the Big 12 play. I am Moneyline Mac, a.k.a. the former video coordinator for Bob Huggins and Frank Martin. And next up, he was born in Provo, Utah. He's got family in Ames, Iowa. He lives in Morgantown, West Virginia. He is going to the Coliseum tonight, boots on the ground. Rambling Rush, co-host of the Ryan Rush Show. Rush, what's up, man?
Looking forward to hopefully getting win number 1 in the Big 12 for West Virginia and Josh Eilert. Should be a good game tonight. I know we'll talk about it more, but hey, good old week 9 in the Big 12. This is where the real fun begins.
Yes, it is indeed, because we got the opener out of the way, got the appetizer, got the mimosa round. Now we're moving on. We got round number 2 in this 18-game gauntlet. Third man in the box. You guys know him as the Big 12 guru. The green mowing, weed growing. He is Troy Chewning. What is up, brother?
What is going on? I'm excited to see if we get more upsets on the weekend schedules or the weekday games, because typically in the Big 12, you'll see your upsets on the Tuesday and Wednesdays instead of on the Saturdays. But, you know, we make it through Saturday. Home teams go 4-3, just straight up, not anything to do with the spread. Going to keep track of how many underdogs win on the weekdays versus the weekends, and see if, you know, 3 or 4 weeks into the season, we can take advantage of that.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because you got some desperate 0-1 teams tonight. So here we go. I mean, it's now or never, especially for somebody like West Virginia. To recap, teams that are 1-0 in the Big 12 after Saturday. Baylor 1-0. They were able to win in Stillwater. Houston obviously undresses West Virginia. They are 1-0. Cincinnati goes to Provo. They are 1-0. Kansas survives TCU. They are 1-0. K-State absolutely annihilates UCF, the very, very shiny Knights on Saturday. They are 1-0. Oklahoma gets to 1-0 when they beat Iowa State in a thriller. So they are 1-0. And Texas Tech was able to get the final game in Austin. So yeah, that's where we're at currently. Any final thoughts before we move into the round 2, Rush?
Yeah, I think Troy hit the nail on the head earlier. Is when you, especially, I mean, this is the first round of weeknight games for the Big 12 play, but this is kind of where you get not as much as that national spotlight. Obviously, you still kind of have football going on, so a lot of these teams, these weeknight games, especially if their opponent's not as big as they may be, this is when you kind of get the teams going through the motions and stuff. So also, I know we'll probably talk about this here, but this Iowa State Houston game, I saw this one from the start. This is that game, for example. Yep.
Troy, how about you?
I just want to see, honestly, it stinks that the latest game tonight is BYU and Baylor, because I just want to see if BYU is going to make the threes at the rate that they usually do compared to that first game. But it's a classic battle of efficiency shooting against volume shooting, and I'm more of a volume fan, even though that's the BYU side of this game. So I'm going to be watching it for excitement. But man, if BYU is going to have a chance in some of these games if they get hot, even on the road, of just, completely screwing over a spread by 10 different points, so just excited to see how that one goes. I know Baylor got a little bit of kind of false confidence on the road in Stillwater, so we'll see how this goes with a desperate BYU team.
Indeed. And to recap our who you're buying around for, I gave one out to Kelvin Sampson after Saturday's night. Troy gave his beverages out to the three dogs, aka the fucking zebras in Lawrence. And Rush bought a round for everybody in Cincinnati after being dried up for a day or two. So we'll see who gets the round of beers after round 2 in the Big 12. Tuesday and Wednesday, there's no Thursday game. So let's dive right into it, guys. Let's lead it off. Rush happening right near you right now. Kansas State's coming to Morgantown. Laying 2.5. It opened, I think, at 3. Came down to 1.5. Back up to 2.5. K-State off the blowout win. West Virginia, obviously, off the humiliating loss. This is kind of the game that screams regression on both sides. I mean, if you're from our side, of the Ryan and Rush Show side, West Virginia, you're looking around. If we don't get this one, when are we going to get another one? That's kind of the reality compared to K-State, who's coming off by far their best game of the season, completely killing UCF, had them beat right from the first media. I know it's a homer pick. Everybody's going to think, but I love West Virginia in this spot. This is the season. I mean, you have to get this game, or like I said, you're looking around and going, oh, when the hell are we going to win another one? So give me the Mountaineers. I think they're going to win the game outright. Inspired effort back at home. K-State's not a good road team. I think we're overreacting to just one good game from K-State. They haven't been good prior to the UCF game. Troy, where you go, man?
See, this one is it's very, very telling. Even some places, if you're gonna take Kansas State, you can find it at 2 some places. But for the sake of the differential between 21 and 2, I know Houston's a significantly better team than Kansas State is. But a 19-point differential, and I mean, that's stink in your guys' favor for sure. At 2.5, I'm definitely going to take the Nears. I know K-State's got to go. Who do they play next? Yeah, they go to Tech. So they got to go to Lubbock next. And West Virginia gets to kind of hang out at home for the whole week. They get Texas at home, I think, over the weekend. Yes. So I think this might be it. This could be the last one that I put on West Virginia, but God damn it. Every time I say that, they always draw me back in. So I think I am going to take the points here with West Virginia at home. Maybe they lose by 1 or something.
No, don't put me through another 1-point loss, please. Yeah, Ryan, you make all the points in the world. If not now, when? Obviously Kansas State here, and then Texas comes Saturday. Ryan, I know we'll be at that game, then at Oklahoma, then Kansas, then at UCF. So if not now, when? You're probably looking at that UCF game on January 23rd. Also, too, is we talked about this on Saturday as the appetizer for the main show, that Kansas State did what we expected them to do against UCF in Kansas State. So obviously we know what everything happened there with Tang, Tomlin. Still not sold on this Kansas State team. We talk about home dogs kind of being a system play too, Ryan. Yep. This is just the if not now, when game. So you're probably right, Troy. The last time we'll be betting on West Virginia, at least for the foreseeable future. But I got West Virginia and the points at 2.5. And we'll see.
Where's Kennedy going?
He's going Kansas State.
All right, so he's going chalk. There we go. All right, so Kennedy on K-State. We are all on the West Virginia Mountaineers. Our West Virginia Mountaineers. This is the one. This is the one, baby.
Has to be.
This
hey,
has to
Josh
be
Eiler revenge game. This is where he played and came from.
Good point.
There you go.
I don't know if he could suit up. That might be able to help. We do need a guy that can fucking bang and rebound down there. So, real quick before we get into the next game, I got to talk about DraftKings, an official sports betting partner for the NFL playoffs, and it's bringing you an offer that'll help make the playoffs electrifying. New customers can bet just $5 on any game and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use the code SGP. New customers can bet just $5 to get $200 instantly in bonus bets only on DraftKings Sportsbook with the code SGP. The crown is yours, and if you got a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.com, 1-800-800-GAMBLER.net in New York, all 778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, help is available for a gambling problem. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 plus, various by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after insurance. See DraftKings.com/football for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and apply. Responsible gaming resources. We're also brought to you by Game Time. Let's go. Game Time. Rush, big advocate. You're going to the Coliseum tonight. You can always use Game Time if you want to get down on some Big 12 action.
Absolutely. And we've used it for my bachelor party. The UNLV Hawaii game out at Allegiant Stadium was an absolute blast, of course. Woke up a little hungover from the previous nights, but hey, we wanted to get over there, check out the stadium. 2 clicks of the phone. We were there, Ryan. Obviously, Troy, I've come out to Caps games and Nats games, come hang out with UCU. Always use Game Time. You can see where you're sitting, the view of from your seats, on best interface, best app, hands down. I love Game Time. Used it before they were even a sponsor here. And then you're like, Ryan, hey, we got Game Time as a sponsor. I'm like, I'm happy to talk about it. Use it all the time. So, yep, Game Time's fantastic.
It's the absolute best. Snag the tickets without stress with Game Time. Perfect place for the playoffs. Download the Game Time app or create an account. Code CFBX for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CFBX for $20 off. Download the Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. All righty. We are back on the Big 12 college experience. All right. Let's get into game number 2. This one's interesting to me. Texas coming off the loss. Cincy coming off the BYU win. Really interested to see how these two teams match up. I mean, obviously, Texas, very talented. I still feel like they're trying to find themselves under Rodney Terry with Max A. Smith, Tyrese Hunter, and that new backcourt. Dylan DeSue has been good for them since returning. I hate Texas as much as anybody, but I love this spot for them. I think this is a great spot. I think that they're more talented than Cincinnati. I think that they're actually able to go on the road and win the game outright. I think Cincinnati coming off the Provo win, kind of an emotional letdown. It will be rocking in that place for Texas, the Big 12 opener. But this is the first time we're going to see somebody make that trip all the way back from Provo back to the east. So give me the Horns here. And I think you sprinkle some on the money line. Troy?
This is one where I really like the spot for Texas, but the system says you pick the home team.
Yeah.
And I was more impressed with Cincinnati beating BYU. I know, like we said earlier, BYU just kind of bombs them up, and there are going to be games where they go cold, and it doesn't really give you the best idea on how well BYU could play. But I was pretty impressed with Cincinnati in that game and hanging through, a halftime deficit and just kind of locking it down. I'm going to lay the points here with the Bearcats. I'm starting to become a Bearcat believer here. They sacrificed the football team. They let Emory Jones suck so the basketball team could be good. They did the reverse Michigan.
Where you go, Rush?
Yeah, I'm going to go in the middle between you two. I'm not going to sprinkle the money line here because I get with the home team, especially in college basketball. But I do think this line's a little bit of an overreaction to the BYU game. I mean, I've seen BYU do that time and time again, just lay down to get flat. I thought that spoke more to BYU's lack of depth and experience. And then it spoke to, I mean, Cincinnati getting a win than Provo. I mean, it is a big deal, but I thought that was more of a BYU loss than it was a Cincinnati win. Maybe I'm a little biased there. I'm going to take the points with Texas. I think this is a 1-possession game.
What's Kennedy doing?
Kennedy is, let's see if he wants to hang around the state of Texas. And he does. Kennedy's going Texas plus 4.5 as well.
Kennedy never learns his lesson.
No,
Kennedy's
he loves Texas.
All right, next up in the slate, here's the game of the night in the Big 12. Houston, the Cougars, first road test. God damn, did they give them a hell of a place to go to. Ames, Iowa, where it's 0 degrees. It's snowing like hell. This place is going to be on fucking fire. Number's only 2.5 for the only unbeaten team in the country. Iowa State. Obviously, I'm on Iowa State. Iowa State struggled to make shots on Saturday. They were able to hang in there, but for some reason in Hilton, they always make shots. They shoot the ball better in there. That place is going to be on fire. I think Houston struggles to make shots on the road. Their first really, really hard road game. They went to Xavier, but Xavier's not any good. I think we're not going to have an unbeaten in college basketball after tonight. Give me Iowa State to win the game outright, and we've seen this over and over with Iowa State in that building. Hilton Magic's a real thing, especially when it's snowing out there. They make enough shots tonight, and they upset the Cougs in their first road game. Cyclone Nation, baby.
The only thing that scares me about that angle is how fast Iowa State wants to play and how slow Houston wants to play. Houston really wants to grind it out, and they trust that they're going to be more efficient on offense. And I don't really know if Iowa State is going to be able – I mean, if they can dictate the pace and make the game quicker, then they will win the game outright for sure. But I don't know if they're going to be able to be efficient enough. But the system says they are at home, and they will be slightly more efficient than normal. I don't know if they win this game. But at that 2.5, I mean, it's one possession. I'm going to take the 2.5 points with Iowa State here. But maybe Houston sneaks out of this one with like a 2-point win or something.
Yeah, this is the Houston welcome to the Big 12 game. Going to Hilton. It's cold out. I know obviously they play inside, but that does have an effect on it. Weeknight game. Everyone's already talking them up. This is Iowa State money line here. I agree. At least take the points. Iowa State's winning this game.
It did open at 4.5. It's down to 2.5. So yeah, heavy money coming in on the Clones. What do we got for the coin?
Iowa State.
Iowa State, Cyclone Magic. All right, let's go to the next game. Next game up, this one. I'm interested to see what you guys say. Oklahoma State going to Lubbock. Lubbock coming out, or Texas Tech, not Lubbock. It's in Lubbock. Texas Tech coming off their biggest win of the year, obviously winning their Super Bowl at Texas. Oklahoma State, Heartbreak City Saturday. I think Texas Tech is going to win the game, but I feel like this is going to be this typical rock fight between the two. Both struggle to score at times. I think they both beat each other up. I think this is a great Big 12 game where the road team hangs in there. Home team finds a way to make some shots at the very end, get it across, win by 5 or 6. So I'll take the points with the Cowboys. I think this is going to be a rock fight, low scoring in the 50s. Troy?
I think that I mean, if you're gonna lay it with Texas Tech, I know you can find an 8 out there without the hook, but I think with the 8 or the 8.5 is still probably 3 or 4 points too inflated for me. Texas Tech with the big, emotional win. The one thing that scares me, even though I am going to take the points with Oklahoma State, is I don't know if Texas Tech is going to go 2 of 15 from the 3-point line the way that Baylor did. So maybe that's why they have this line at that 8 number. But I think Texas Tech gets the win. But I think it is only, a 2-point game that maybe 2 free throws makes it a 4-point game, and then, a half-court heave doesn't go down or something like that. But I'll take the points with Oklahoma State.
I'm laying the points here. It's Oklahoma State away from Stillwater. Texas Tech, I know there's concerns about this line being inflated because they just were on the road against Texas, but hey, they opened Big 12 play up at home. I think OK State, especially they were in double overtime when they lost to Baylor.
Single overtime.
Oh, that's right. We were worried it was going to go to double, and then they were going to cover in double. That's right. They won. But I think they're tired. They're away from home. I'm going to lay the points with Texas Tech. Something tells me this is going to be like 72-58. And I think it'll get away. 58. I think it'll get away late. So I'm going to write that score down for fun. We'll see where that goes. So lay the points there. Oh, Kennedy is going OK State.
All right. Finally, not a Texas school for the coin.
Oh, he picked Iowa State against Houston.
True. Very true. Hey, final game in the Tuesday window, and then we'll move over to Wednesday's game because those lines just got released over on DraftKings, proud sponsor of the Big 12 College Experience. This one's good. BYU, Baylor, game opened at 2, up to 4.5. I think this is actually – I'm worried that this is actually too easy, to be honest. All over Baylor. That new arena is freaking on fire. So I love Baylor here. Lay the points. I think their guards are better. I think they make shots in that arena. BYU is still 9th on KenPom. So I feel like this line is inflated still for BYU just because they beat up on all the shit teams in the non-con. And this is BYU away from Provo. I think this is another welcome to the fucking Big 12 for BYU. I think they're going to get drilled here. I think Baylor runs them out of the gym. Maybe not by 20, but I think double digits here. I will lay it with Baylor and the number here against BYU to get to 2-0 in Big 12 play.
Yeah, I would assume that Baylor doesn't go 2 of 15 from 3 in back-to-back games, especially going 2 of 15 at Stillwater and then getting to come home to the new quaint 7,500 person rocking arena. That's really the handicap here is Baylor gets to play this game at home and not in Provo, but they're also significantly more athletic than BYU. And I think that, they'll get 8 to 10 more fast break points than BYU gets and probably win this game in that 8 to 12 point range. I'm laying it with Baylor.
Yeah, I'm on Baylor as well. We got the altercation.
I'm off Baylor now.
That's football. That's football.
We are all 1-0 in Baylor games. We all took Oklahoma State on Saturday with the points. They should have fucking won the game.
Took it just early enough where the dunk didn't screw us.
Yeah, they should have lost. I mean, fucking goddamn. Anyway, sorry, Rush. Keep going.
Oh no, you guys are good. Yeah, I'm just on Baylor. BYU is at UCF next on Saturday, and then they have Iowa State at home. So BYU obviously can still turn this around. But losing that home game to Cincinnati, that could be kind of one of those things where, I mean, both those teams were new teams going into the Big 12, so they still haven't faced that true Big 12 team yet. And I think we may see one of those things where one loss turns into 2. And hey, the Baylor's new arena, like you guys were saying, place will be rocking. I think this is a good spot for Baylor to be in.
All righty. So we're all on Baylor, and the coin is on
BYU.
BYU. All right. A little contrarian.
Mormons do control the government. It's
all right. Let's real quick hit an ad. We're brought to you by Cut because it's a peer-to-peer social betting platform for the U.S.-based legal states. Player-to-player social betting is a new and better way to bet. Bet directly against your friends over with sports, politics, culture, and everything. It offers a lower VIG and fully customizable odds. Create your own bets. Cut handles the payment side of things, so you know which ones have the best values. Download the Cut today in App Store. That's KUTT, promo code SGPN for 10% deposit bonus. That's KUTT, promo code SGPN. And yeah, that's KUTT, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy, and everybody watch on youtube.com/college experience. Sees the promo code TCESGPN. Play alongside your favorite fantasy players all season long with NFL, NBA, NHL, and college hoops, college football. Simply pick her by higher or lower with the fantasy stats and cash in. Troy, I know you've been cooking up some higher or lowers over on Underdog. What are we working with here, brother?
We're gonna take 2 of them from the premier Houston Iowa State game. I'm gonna go higher on LJ Cryer's points at 16, and I'm gonna go higher at Mom Solovic's points at 11. He missed a couple of pretty good looks at the end of their last game for Iowa State, and I think he can get to that 11 number. And then I'm going higher on Raekwon Battle for if he does not get it the last time this year, but it was only at 17, and like the chat was talking about earlier, he's going to have to go off for them to have a good chance in this game, and I could really see that happening. So those 3, 6-1.
Better. Looking better. Yeah. You get over there. You heard Troy. We're back in LJ Cryer. We're back in Raekwon Battle. Bounce back. And when you use that sign-up code, SGPN, Underdog will double your first deposit up to $100. Underdog Fantasy promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets. Win bigger by betting smarter this NFL season with Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, props, game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app so you can get that revolutionary parlay tool so you know which one has the best legs broken down. Stop betting in the dark and join over 30,000 users with Hall of Fame Bets who craft a more intelligent, data-driven parlay. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com. Code SGPN for 50% off your first month today. Start researching, start winning with the Hall of Fame Bets. All righty. We are back on the Big 12 college experience. Let's go over to Wednesday's action. This is what's beautiful about doing the show at 4 o'clock on Tuesday. We got Wednesday lines. Let's dive into it. This line fucking stinks. Kansas going to UCF. They're only laying 6. They are baiting the hell out of you into taking Kansas here. Give me UCF, but here's the catch. Wait. Don't. I think this thing will go up to 7 or 8. I think UCF's going to be the right side. I think Kansas is going to play a shitty game, be asleep at the wheel a little bit here. They got a big one on Saturday. Oklahoma's coming to the Fog, a battle of top 10 teams. Kansas not good away from the Fog, usually in January. I think UCF's really athletic. I think this is going to be their Super Bowl. It's the Big 12 opener. That place is going to be sold out. Kansas has never played there, unfamiliar with that place. So give me the points, but don't bet it yet. I say you wait till this thing gets to 7 or 8 and then come in on the very, very shiny nights. Troy, where are you going here, man?
Well, the whole Big 12 home system, I don't think really applies to UCF quite yet. I don't know if they've got enough of the fan support there and enough of the referee whistles that really kind of determine some of the home games in the Big 12. I'm really not scared of the 6. Maybe I should be. Maybe I am getting baited, but I'm laying the 6 with Kansas because you always have in any Kansas game, as we talked about on the last episode, you always have the ability, if they're only up by 2 or if they're down by 1 at halftime, to get that Kansas money line and just maybe hit both. Maybe you do get the UCF at like 7.5 or 8 right before tip, and then you can take the Kansas money line at minus 110 when they're only up by 2 at halftime. I'm laying it though. I don't think that these are very comparable teams. I think UCF's in the basement and Kansas is upper echelon.
This line doesn't scare me either. If Kansas had played better against TCU, then maybe. But I think this is going to be one of those get right games before Oklahoma on Saturday. I have no problem laying these points. Kansas -6 for me.
They're on the Jayhawks. I'm on the Knights. What's Kennedy on?
He's on the Jayhawks as well.
All righty. Jayhawks. So I'm in the UCF foxhole. What could go wrong? All right. Let's go Shiny Knights.
You're on the moon bounce all alone.
Yeah, there we go. Final game in the slate. This one's going to be a good one. Oklahoma going to TCU. TCU coming off the rig job game. Laying 4 in Fort Worth. Obviously, Oklahoma's coming in hot. Oklahoma's coming off the Iowa State win. They got to go to the Fog on Saturday. I like TCU here. I think TCU's athleticism is more than Oklahoma's. I think they can match their physicality. And one thing about TCU, especially in that fucked up court, they're really good at home, especially under Jamie Dixon. I like the Frogs here. I like the Frogs a lot and a bounce back. I'm going to lay the 4 points with the home team here. I think they want you to take Oklahoma. So give me TCU.
Yeah, I think this is another one that you might be able to see go to 5 or so before tip. I want to take Oklahoma, but going on the road in between a big win at home and then going to Fog is usually kind of a fade spot. So I'll go ahead and lay it at the 4. But if I see it get to that 5 or 6, I'll probably bet both sides and hope that it's an exact 4 or 5 point game.
This kind of does have the feeling of a push, but I'm not afraid to lay the 4 either. I think Oklahoma, this is a sandwich spot. We're in the middle of the week, as we talked about earlier. on this episode. Obviously, a great win by Oklahoma on Saturday, and then they're going to obviously want to beat Kansas on this coming Saturday. It's at TCU, another system for the home team. I think TCU after that loss to Kansas, they're mad. They want to still show people, hey, like we're here. We deserve a little number next to our name as well. I'm laying the points with TCU.
And a good system. The home team or anytime there's a non-ranked team laying points against a ranked team, it's usually telling you they're trying to bait you into taking the team that's ranked with that little number, like you said. So, what's Kennedy doing?
He is on OU +4.
Boomer Sooner. All right, he's in the foxhole with the Sooners. Going fucking down, Kennedy. All right, let's go to our lock, dog, and tease. I'll lead it off with my lock. Sick 'em. I'll keep it short and sweet. I know it's public and it's chalky, but give me Baylor. Lock that thing up. I think they're gonna drill BYU here tonight.
I think I'm going to lock the obvious one with Kansas at -6.
Okay.
Let's see. Should I mix this up or? Let's see. Let's have some fun. I'm actually going to lock Texas Tech.
Oh, wow. You're laying the big one. So Rush is on the Red Raiders.
Let's have some fun here. Let's mix it up a little bit.
Troy is on the Jayhawks for the dog. No more unbeatens in college basketball tonight. Give me Iowa State on the money line. They're going to beat Houston. Let's go Clones.
I know you're only doing that because you don't want to get stuck taking West Virginia as a dog, but I will do it. I'll take West Virginia as a dog.
There you go.
If the West Virginia guys aren't picking them, then you know it's time to pick them.
I picked him, but I was like, let me take a game off. I bet it, but I don't want to double down on it. But I like it. Let's go Ears. Troy's on the Mountaineers.
I am actually gonna go here. Let me check this real quick. I know it's dog outright. That's right. They're at I'm gonna go Texas. Texas was +4.5, right? Yeah. Cincinnati was favored. Yep. Texas.
So I'm gonna take those filthy horns. I like it.
Not really. If it makes you money, you like it. You don't want the team to win.
Fuck you, Texas. Recap, I'm on Baylor and Iowa State. Troy's on Kansas and West Virginia. Rush on Texas Tech and Texas. Let's go money line round robin, guys. Who do we want to throw in this? Who do we primarily? I think we're throwing West Virginia in there. We all agreed on that.
Probably Iowa State too, huh?
We got to throw Iowa State in there, and
I mean between Baylor or TCU, they're favored, but I don't know if you want to go outright Oklahoma State on the road.
You want to go Texas? Who had Cincinnati? You had Cincinnati, right, Troy?
Troy had Cincinnati. What if we alt-lined Baylor?
Take him at like -8.
Yeah, let's see what that is. So sorry.
7.5.
Iowa over on DraftKings, Iowa State +120. West Virginia +115. Where's Baylor? Baylor alt line. Where do we got here? Do we think Baylor gets it done 7.5, 8.5?
What's the difference between the two odds? What's the 7.5?
+120 at 7.5, +130 at 8.5. Kind of like the 7.
I'll buy the extra
7.5.
Yeah, 7.5.
So 7.5. So that gets us a +935 over at DraftKings. Iowa State over Houston, West Virginia over K-State. Baylor alt lined up to laying 7.5. All righty. There you go. Have a little fun here on
that Baylor alt line. That Baylor alt line at 7.5 is probably worth a straight bet too.
Yeah.
Hey, this is my. We talked about this parlay. I bet this. I took all points though. I think I got West Virginia. I wish I would have had them at 2.5, but got them at +1.5. Iowa State +2.5, and then I did Baylor -4.5. So had a nice free bet in there. So let's win some money tonight, boys.
Oh yeah, fucking that's what it's all about, winning some money. All right, man. That'll conclude round 2 of the Big 12. We'll be back Friday to recap the action. Whoops, what happened there? Sorry, technology's fucking with me again. And then we'll also be
Max
back.
going blue screen.
Yeah, blue screen.
My blue screen's messed in the back. So.
Yeah. So yeah, it's I'll be back, we will be back on Friday to hit those openers right at 3:00. And then we'll also be back Saturday night to recap all the action and give out some rounds of beers for everybody. I'm at moneyline_Mac. I'll be back on the college basketball experience here later tonight. He is the Big 12 guru at Troy Chewning. Troy, what else you got going on?
I just want to say that the Friday show, the fact that we got Oklahoma State at 5.5 instead of 4.5 was like an 8-unit difference in what I won and lost just based on the picks I gave out here. So, if there's some early lines that we see on Friday, we're not afraid to take those before any line movement and can save you some bucks.
Yes, it can. And Rush is at Rambling Rush. Rush, any last thoughts before we get up on out of here?
Only non-Big 12 thoughts is would love everyone tweet at me or X at me at Rambling Rush and let me know what you think is going to happen with the Patriots. I'm anxiously waiting. This Vrabel news throws a wrench in everything. So love to hear people's thoughts on what's going to happen with the Patriots next.
They need to put Bill at GM and let Vrabel be the head coach.
Oh yeah, that'll go great. Bill at GM, just what we all want.
Yeah, the Vrabel will be like, these players suck. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could put Vrabel at GM.
I take that.
I'm gonna get a real GM. I like Bill as the coach. Probably. I don't like Bill as the GM, but
just get back together. Get Josh back up in there, and Jared Mayo can be like the assistant defensive coordinator. Just get the whole band back in there.
Absolutely.
Hire Steve Belichick.
Yeah. Oh God, that guy. All right, everybody, we're out of here. We'll see you guys Friday afternoon. Let's go Mountaineers. We are out of here.